12-point type style is called Jansen, and I'm going to write Linotype. The keyboard is arranged in an unusual order, so I'm a very slow typist. It's in E-Twain Sherdloo. E is the most common letter in the English language, followed by T-A-O-I-N-S, and so forth. The men who were usually the Linotype operators did not know how to necessarily type on a QWERTY keyboard. E is the most common letter. It's in the first column here. It's going to drop down the quickest. The less usual letters have a little bit further to go. So they're going to come down this track into my spell check area. So when we put that together, we're going to say Linotype. So I'll look for the L. My L will come down, Linotype, on the T, Y, T, E. We have the word Linotype. We're now going to take that and pass that into metal. So it's going to go up, over, down the elevator. We're going to pump hot metal at about 550 degrees Fahrenheit into the mold. We will now eject the word Linotype, and I have to keep it moving because I don't have great calluses on my hand, but we have the word Linotype. I have this set for center justification, so it came out centered on the page. I wanted it to be fully quad right justified, I'd set it here. Quad left, I'd have it over here. And for full justification, I would have it here at regular. So 4 different settings for how the justification is performed. One of my favorite things about this machine is the fact that after I use these little brass mats that are doing the line casting, and I'm dropping down here, they will be line cast. This arm, we'll see here in a second, will come up, will pick up the used mats, put them up top. Those rollers will move it across a binary sort queue, and each one of those brass mats, as you hear them falling down, go back into the right place in the magazine. And this was all invented in the 1880s here in Baltimore by Ottmar Mergenthaler. These are the mats. These are the most important, although one of the smallest parts of the Linotype. These are the molds that the lead goes into to make the type. Over here, I can see that this is the letter O. That's the human readable side, so I can spell check it. On the business end, I have the mold for an O. In this case, it's a capital O or an uppercase O, and I have it in both italic or standard print. This mat is an N. If these are the same font, when I put them together, I will have this ridge in the same place. So they're going to be the same font. Also, each mat has an 8-bit binary code. There are 2 shapes of teeth. When they move onto the sorting bar, there are holes, and when it runs into the right one of the 90 columns in that magazine, the mat will fall down back into its correct place. So these are the mats. This is a slug. This is a slug with text on it. The raw input into a Linotype is printer's metal. It's an alloy of lead and antimony and a tiny bit of lead. And a tiny bit of tin. This mechanism has a float here, and it'll keep the right amount of metal in the hot pot. We heat this up to 550 degrees. In the pot at the mouth, it comes through at about 350 degrees, and then it cools pretty quickly. So here's a used, I just typed a pile of eyes in there, nothing that I really need to keep. So we will make that disappear. We'll put that in our hot pot. And as that metal gets up to 550 degrees, it will dissolve into our existing metal and be immediately recycled. A little bit like the Wicked Witch of the West. So as I line cast, we're going to go up and start to cast this. The plunger will go down, put some of that hot metal into the mold. Linotype. We have a line of type as we begin the casting. The mold is going to turn to the proper mold. We're injecting the hot metal. The mold is turning 360 degrees. A knife is cutting off the slug that we just produced, and we're ready for the next line of type. It actually went to the business and it turned 270 more degrees. In the full cycle, it goes 360, so we're back to position 1. Sorry about that. Full justification. So because I'm a slow typist on this, I'm just going to type gobbledygook. So here's my first word. I'm then going to hit a space band, and I only wanted one of those. The space band is going to put a variable amount of space in between each word so that the line is filled out. So when I do this, I need to be careful that I get to approximately 30 types. So I'm there. As I compress this, we're going to put a wedge-shaped piece that's going to spread the words apart. Will go back into their place, and as usual, the mats will go back into their space. Now I got a line of text that is perfectly justified. So what you can see here is, as I was writing this, I did not count the letters, nor did I do the math that Microsoft Word does. I didn't calculate that M is a bigger letter, but I still got perfect right justification. And that was done because the machine put a variable amount of space using these wedges in between each word. That's how the spacing is done horizontally. I personally find this whole mechanism interesting, to get a little shot of the cam mechanism.
Yeah, definitely. Sure.
Something bad just happened. So this stopped turning. And I got a mess here.
So this is like the typewriter equivalent of hitting all the keys at once?
Well, something got jammed, and this stopped turning because there was a jam in here, and now I have to clean that out. So this is the motor that powers the entire unit. Ours, of course, is an electric unit. This does not need electricity to run. Some print shops would have had this hooked up to even a water wheel. We then have a clutch and a belt that drives the entire casting mechanism. So that's the main belt right here. And of course we had to replace that because it was really old. That belt is driving an axle here. This belt is driving the sorting mechanism. We have another set of belts over here. And here, this is jostling the letters so that they fall into the right place. This is the mechanism that is helping drop each individual mat out of our magazine. I'd love to show one more thing if I can get it to clean up. This is a sword. I'm going to have some issues with this. This closes the magazine. So these individual mats don't fall out. When my magazine is closed, I can change the font. So obviously it's not as simple as highlighting something and changing. Here to change the font, what we're going to do is find the right letter, which is right here, and then we're going to go to our second font. So now instead of the mats dropping out of our 12-point Jansen, we're going to be getting tiny little 8-point text type. Then we can go and switch to our next font, and then finally our fourth font. If we want the fifth font, we have to remove this entire magazine. Take it out. It weighs about 70 pounds, the magazine, plus the 1,400 brass mats.